So in today's video, I'm going to talk about the macronutrients. We have our carbs, our proteins, our fats, and then water. Yes, I count it as a macronutrient because it's so important to help with the transport of everything in our bodies, vitamins, minerals, and so on. You might be in a place where you're wondering, okay, I know so much nutrition information out there, but what is actually going to work for me? Well, good thing you clicked on this because we're just going to go through the nutrition basics. I'm a registered dietitian, and I really have came to this belief that we really need to uncomplicate nutrition, and especially nutrition for women and women's health, women's hormones. So I am so passionate about women's health, hormone health specifically, hypothalamic amenorrhea. I've been through that myself and in my own journey and through the healing and stuff. Just some guidance would have been nice. And also too, understanding that my body is very unique, and the general nutrition recommendations are there for recommendation, right? They're baseline. But really you need like individual support for you and your needs. But the purpose of this video is just to help you gain a better understanding about nutrition. I really want to give you the tools in your toolbox that you can take with you and apply it to you and your personal needs. No matter what kind of walk through life you're going through, I hope that this can help you in some way. And just to, again, uncomplicate nutrition, and let's bring it back to basics. So here we go. First off, we have carbohydrates. And so what carbs to eat more of are going to be the ones that are the higher fiber carbohydrates. So we're thinking about doing like oatmeal, quinoa, doing sweet potatoes, potatoes with the skin. The skin has that fiber component, and whole grains and legumes and beans, and really focusing on including a variety of those in our diet and not trying to eliminate one or the other. The reason why we need those nutrients from the whole grains and like the fibrous carb sources is because, one, it's a source of fiber. So fiber doesn't get digested in your digestive tract, so it actually helps absorb some water to help keep things moving through, if you know what I mean. So, and it also supports proper hormone function. So we're thinking about our reproductive health here, ladies, like our estrogen, our progesterone, our FSH, luteinizing hormone. All those hormones come into wonderful harmony when we focus on increasing and incorporating a variety of carbohydrates in our diet, and pairing them with protein and fat at our meals to help with balanced blood sugars as well. Carbs can get a really bad rap these days, but they are essential, and it's the quality and the source of carbohydrate that we're eating. And so trying to space that out throughout the day and not have a huge spike in your blood sugars will also help too. Ladies, we need carbs. I know, like the keto, the low carb, all that stuff, yes, you can see results, but we need to look at the long-term gain here. Going on a low carb diet, is it really gonna serve you like 5 years from now? Of course, our bodies are always changing, and we can evolve the way we eat as we go throughout our lives, but we still need carbs, especially in this reproductive area, like age, like 20s to 30s to even like mid 40s. Like, we need these carbs for our, it's our main source of energy. Our brain utilizes it, our body utilizes it to function, just to function on a daily basis. Also too, when we go on like low carb diets, it actually can contribute to decreasing our thyroid output. So hypothyroidism, which is very common in today's world. But look at how many low carb, like the keto, how many of those diets are out there that we're doing these days. And so drastically reducing your source of carbohydrate, especially if you're an active female, like that can increase the cortisol output, which is where when we see that abdominal fat kind of come in and kind of build up and be a little stubborn. Not that it's bad, but sometimes we see it increasing. We're like, what the heck is going on? Another thing too, it can lead to decreased or increased testosterone levels in your body. So those that are experiencing low libido or like osteopenia, which is like your bones, that can be impacted as well as like your mood and cognitive function. So that afternoon brain fog hit that you have, that's there for a reason. And just think back, did you have carbohydrates with your breakfast? Did you have carbohydrates with your lunch? Maybe not. The next part is how carbs can help women specifically. I touched on some of them just recently, but so for the women that are physically active, hear me out on this. You will have a hard time recovering after your training sessions, your workout sessions. I know some of you on here are watching this and you like to work out, which is okay. It's okay, and to have goals and stuff, but we need to learn how to fuel our bodies properly, and carbohydrates and the quantity and type that you're feeding your body matters. It also helps with those that are suffering from hypothalamic amenorrhea. Carbs are your best friend, so make them your best friend, girlfriend. Women who are pregnant or breastfeeding. Girl, like, if you are pregnant or breastfeeding, you are amazing. Think about how much energy you are expending just feeding your child or taking care of your child. You need to recover from that and take care of yourself, girl. Eat some carbs. It's okay. It is okay, I promise. And then those who are recovering, I know that this can be very touchy, talking about different macronutrients and saying, hey, you need carbs. It's so much easier said than done, guys. It is. But we need to break this societal norm about like giving carbs bad rap and understanding what good they can bring to our bodies, in our female body, the positives that it can bring, and just kind of trying to tailor that to you and your specific needs and not listening to what the other person needs. All right, so protein. I know those girls who love to work out or you love to lift. We know protein is important, right? You know protein, but why is it so important and what sources are really important for you? So we're gonna go over that. So proteins can come from both animal and plant sources. Essentially, animal sources of protein are going to be kind of what you want to include more of. I am a fan of plant-based dishes and plant-based proteins, but the difference there is plant-based proteins are not a complete protein. So they don't have all 9 essential amino acids that we need to actually help, restore our body's muscles, restore the repair, everything like that. But when we have animal sources, they are a complete protein. So they are more bioavailable to the body. So that means they are absorbed much better. So let's say you hit a hard workout, you want to have some animal protein in there. That way your body can absorb it so much better, and it will just help that recovery process. And some of the animal proteins and the plant proteins, some of the animal protein sources, you're thinking about and if you can do really good quality, like pasture raised, organic, awesome. But if not, do the best you can. Just get the best quality you can. Doing chicken breasts, chicken thighs, ground beef, wild caught fish and seafood, dairy products like Greek yogurt that have some good probiotics, some cottage cheese, some hard cheeses. Those are some good places to start. A2 types of milk. Those are all great places to start for dairy products. These are known as those complete proteins. Eggs, I forgot eggs. Can't forget the eggs. Awesome vitamins and minerals. Protein, most of the protein comes from the egg white, so if you want to add a little egg white in there too for extra protein, that's an option. And then we have our plant proteins. So these are all wonderful. They actually fit into the carb category too. So be mindful of that. They have awesome fibers to them, but they can be very helpful for digestion and keep things regular. And they can also have some protein that you can add to your meal, or you can make a plant-based dish too. Like I said, variety is key here, guys. We don't want to be like, I'm not like a huge like plant only or animal only. We need variety. We need variety in our diets and make it simple on ourselves and not trying to cut too many ties with too many different sources of foods. Some plant-based sources: quinoa, amaranth, Ezekiel bread, that's a sprouted grain bread. That can be a good option for you. Adding like nutritional yeast, that's a little like cheesy flavor. Hemp seeds, chia seeds, flax seeds, things like beans and lentils, and really incorporating those into your dishes as well can be an option. Why do we need protein? I'm sure you all know, but for women especially, protein is like the key building block for female hormones, in your reproductive hormones to be specific. Thinking about protein plays a really crucial role in regulating our menstrual cycles. Communicates with your reproductive hormones down there to kind of be like, hey, it's time. It's that time of the month. Like, let's go. We feel great. That's one part. And it also helps with your liver. So your liver, that's a powerhouse, baby. Like, take care of your liver. Start taking care of it now. And yeah, your future self will thank you for it. So detoxifying the liver. And what I mean by detoxifying is that can go a little extreme sometimes, but basically what it means is when we are getting in enough variety of quality proteins in our diet, helps the liver detoxify excess hormones. So like estrogen, like having estrogen dominance, like building up those hormones that are kind of communicate with the liver. It also helps to balance out blood sugar levels, can help build lean muscle mass, which I'm sure you already knew, but I'm throwing that in there anyways. Without adequate protein intake, we see the liver can start struggling to remove the excess estrogen in the body, and that can lead to symptoms like your low sex drive, intense PMS symptoms, digestive issues, slowing down digestion. It's just not working great. So really take care of that protein intake. Like, gosh, I don't even know how much protein I should be eating, but so yeah. Usually I say start out with trying to be conscious about getting about like a palm size portion, thickness of a deck of cards on your plate at every meal, and just go from there and try that out, see how you feel, because a lot of us are probably thinking we're eating enough protein, but in reality not so much. Other really specifics are when we're not getting in adequate protein intake, leads to can be a contributing factor to hormonal imbalances, things like irregular periods, fertility issues. Protein is just needed for the production of estrogen, progesterone, testosterone. Those ones are really, really important for you guys to keep the woman's body moving how it needs to be. All right, and then next we're going to talk about the fats. There's so many different kinds of fats. So just to break it down for you, we have our saturated fats, which are mainly found in your butter or dairy products, animal fats, coconut oil, those fats that are solid at room temp, those are pretty much a saturated fat. Then there's monounsaturated fats, which are found in foods like nuts, avocado oil or olive oil, or doing like a sunflower seed oil, and then polyunsaturated fats. So those are more like your fish oils, evening primrose oil, or flaxseed oil. We know about like trans fats, right? We have the trans fats, which are basically banned to be put in any food product. You typically aren't going to find those in Whole Foods, so don't have to worry too much about that if you're kind of trying to do more of a very nourishing Whole Foods kind of approach. That kind of deal, like Nature's Foods, God's Fuel, that kind of deal. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Really banned from all like ultra processed products in the stores. So basically we want a really great mix of our polyunsaturated. We want those for sure. Some monounsaturated, and then sprinkling in some saturated fats as well. So they all can work together and not trying to do anything to the extreme, right? Variety here. Sources of fats are egg yolks, avocados, olives, grass-fed butters are awesome. Fatty cold water fish, salmon, awesome source of fat and protein. Nuts and seeds. And for like oils, I always say just kind of use olive oil as your base, but then if you have high heat cooking temps that you saute a lot of veggies, avocado oil is great for that. So those two are the ones that I really recommend, trying not to overcomplicate it. You can use coconut oil, sprinkle that in, but use olive oil as your main, and high heat cook temps, avocado oil, great. Why do women need fat specifically? Again, this fat and carbs I feel like have been taken to the extremes in the nutrition world and fitness world. With the fat, like that low fat era, just kiss that goodbye. No more. Like it's just the extreme when it comes to low fat can be, but we won't get into that. The fats that we're eating from our foods help us actually absorb fat soluble vitamins. So like your vitamins A, D, K, and E. If you are having a salad, let's say, make sure you have some fats in there. Do you have like a handful of walnuts, half of an avocado in there, maybe, and then use like an olive oil lemon juice dressing or like a creamy dressing that has some fat in it, because the fat is actually going to help you absorb those micronutrients you're actually trying to get from the salad. I mean, why are we eating a salad? It has the micronutrients, you know, it can be very nourishing for our vitamins and mineral balances in our bodies. So omega-3s that are coming from the salmon, like olive oils, the omega-3s are just super important for circulation and fighting inflammation, systemic inflammation, and supporting brain function. Specific to female hormones and why fats are super important. So one, they help keep us fuller longer. So when we add fat to our meal, instead of just having carbohydrates at our meal, or carbs and fiber, or even carbs and protein, yeah, it's gonna hold you. But if you add like a source of fat to that, it'll hold you even longer. And guess what it's gonna do too? It's gonna help out your blood sugar response. So instead of seeing your blood sugars go like a mountain, if you just have like a bowl of oatmeal, instead of seeing it go up and down, your blood sugars like shoot up after you eat the bowl of oatmeal and then kind of dip down really soon. Add like 2 tablespoons of peanut butter. Maybe you add a scoop of like a plant-based protein powder, or have a few eggs on the side. Add some protein and fat, so your blood sugars are gonna gradually rise up and then they're gonna gradually go down. Compared to just the bowl of oatmeal full for like an hour, compared to pairing it with protein and fat, then we're full for like 3 or 4 hours. There's a different story there, and your blood sugars will thank you too. And it also helps regulate hormones. So fat sources are just, they think of them as like your hormones, little like passenger buddies or something. Like they just lock arms and they're like, let's go do what we have to do. So that's basically how you should think of fats. Simplistic thinking there. It also helps like build cell membranes, build a really nice outer layer of your cells, so really protecting them so that they don't have any damage or anything from like inflammation or viruses or sickness that comes to your body. And then it's essential for blood clotting, also for muscle growth, muscle movement, things like that, and the immune processes. So fat is amazing. Ladies, incorporate it and sprinkle it in throughout your day. Do not be afraid of it, please. We want variety here. Last but not least, we have water. So water is going to be super important for, in which I think you guys probably already know. What do you think I'm gonna say? It's important for our body's energy and our cells and having them communicate, and then our water soluble vitamins that we get from our foods too. So if we're not drinking enough water and being well hydrated, the water soluble vitamins that we get from foods are not going to be transported or absorbed as well. And so we really want to make sure we're hydrated. It also helps with circulation, so blood flow. So thank you guys for watching this video. I hope that it helped you understand what the macronutrients are, why we need them, how they can support our hormones in our bodies. They're only go through so much in a lifetime. So might as well start taking care of them now and really focusing on simplifying nutrition so that we can make it fun, we can make it enjoyable, and we can focus on the variety and not be too hung up on if we're doing what's right for the other person, but focusing on if you're doing what's right for you and your body. So thanks for watching and have a great day.